Shalom. This is Watchman Yahshay Ben Yahshay.
And your boy Jimmy J all day, aka Yaakov.
Barak Yahweh.
Barak Yahweh. We in this thing, something vicious. You know what I'm saying? Hallelujah. What you got? What you got?
Hey man, this is us starting again. Dropping more videos for the channel, dropping more videos for the people. We've been working, you know, grinding on the project. The project is done, Barak Yahuwah. So now we can take some time to just really open the book up again and sharpen again. So today is the teaching that we're gonna be on is
where do spirits come from and why do they target us?
Why do they target us?
We always talk about how spirits are transferable. We always talk about how, you know what I'm saying, there are such things as evil spirits. Anybody that believes in the Bible believes in evil rules.
That's right.
Evil spirits. They should. You know what I'm saying? You believe there is a Most High and a Hasatan, you know what I'm saying, and you believe there are spirits somewhere in the middle.
Man.
But nobody has ever broken down or really articulated where these spirits come from. You know what I'm saying? And why are they so adamant about taking us out? You know what I'm saying? What is it about us that makes them want to just shut us down and keep us away from Yahuwah? That's what we're about to talk about right now.
Man, it's down. So we're going to let Jimmy J, Watchman Jimmy J, drop us some heat coming from my favorite book of Chanuk or Enoch, man. Let's go.
Yeah.
And we're going to just jump into it. I want to say this. If you look into what they even call with the Brit Hadashah, or what you call the New Testament, it says you believe in one Elohim, you do well. But even demons believe, or devils believe, and tremble. So that means there was something that was believing along with us that trembled. So what are these things that tremble? So we're going to break down what are evil spirits and why do they target mankind. It's something vital for you to hear. We're going to break down a lot of things in these passages of scripture, and we're going to go over to the side of the coat to show you different things that may be affecting you in your life that you may need to repent and pray to Yahweh for, get immersed, get baptized, and come to the deliverance of Yahuwah Yahshay. Hallelujah. So Jimmy, come on, man. Barak Yahuwah.
And man, whenever you feel like you need to hop in, you feel the Ruach cause you to say, oh, I'm gonna read this, I'm gonna go in. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you feel. Whatever you feel like.
Hey, I'm with you. All right.
So we're gonna start at Enoch 7. And I'm gonna read parts of these chapters. You know what I'm saying? I might read all the 10. But like I said, we're gonna just freestyle, flow with it, however the Ruach lead. You know what I mean? But we're gonna start at Enoch 7. All right. So let's see here. What I want to start. I'm gonna go start at 1. Brother. It happened after the sons of men had multiplied in those days, that daughters were born of them, elegant and beautiful. It was bad. You gotta be some kind of bad for angels to come down and try to get at you. That's, anyways. But and when the watchers and the sons of Shemayim beheld them, they became enamored of them, saying to each other, "Come, let us select for ourselves women for the progeny of men, from the progeny of men, and let us beget children." Then their leader Shemyaza said to them, "I fear that you may perhaps be indisposed to the performance of this enterprise." What does that mean? I think y'all gonna punk out.
Right. That's a great breakdown.
And I don't want y'all to leave me out here to dry.
That's hood breakdown. Right
You
there.
know what I'm saying? That's what he said.
Yeah.
I don't know. But then they came back and they said, but they answered and said,
Now you gotta say
What I said?
alone. Oh, you did read the I alone? Okay.
Yeah. And I alone shall suffer for such a grievous crime. You know what I'm saying? But they answered and said, and answered him and said, "We all swear and bind ourselves by mutual exhortation that we will not change our intent, but execute our projected undertaking." Then they swore all together and all bound themselves by mutual exhortation. Their whole number of them was 200. It's a lot of falling. It's a lot of falling.
It is.
200, especially in those days. Back in those days, there was probably a quarter of how many people, you know, is in a day. Like, no, there's way more people today. So when you see 200 people, you know, in that time, 200 angels in that time, it's like, man, they about overtook them. You know what I'm saying? And we'll see how they did in a little bit. Anyways, the whole number was 200 who descended from Ardis, which is the top of Mount Hermon. The mountain therefore was called Hermon, because they had sworn upon it and bound themselves by mutual exhortation. I'm gonna spare y'all the names. But these were the perfects of the 200. So the break. I'm going to say them. These are the names of their chiefs: Shemyaza, who was their leader; Urakaba Ramael, Akiabel.
Akibaal, meaning my brother is Baal.
Wow,
That's something.
that's deep.
Yeah.
Tamiyal, Rumial, Daniyal, Askiyal, Sarakayal, Sa'ayal, Armers, Batraal, Anan, Zabbi, Sabial, Artaal, Turayal, Yumael.
Which means the day belongs to Elohim. That's a powerful name.
I like how you do that, man. Keep doing that, man. You hear something, you get in there, man. I like it. Hallelujah. And Arazael. These were the perfects of the 200 angels, and the remained were all with them. Then they
were generals, basically. When you see that word prefix or perfects, they were the generals of the other angels. So these ones that he listed had actually authority over other angels, which made it the full 200. So these were the generals that were mentioned.
Hallelujah, hallelujah. Good stuff. Then they took women. Then they took women, each choosing for himself them by whom they began to approach, and with whom they cohabitated, teaching them sorcery, incantations, and the dividing of roots and trees. And the women conceived, bearing forth giants, and they bore to them 3 races. The great giants.
That's one race.
That's one race.
So people always say Nephilim instantly, but that's not what the book says.
Right.
You have the giants is one race.
Right.
Go ahead, Aunt.
The giants brought forth the Nephilims.
The Nephilim, which mean bullies or tyrants. So they don't mean all of them were big. Matter of fact, they're finding little miniature fairy-looking creatures that have human DNA in them. Right. So that doesn't mean that all were giants, like big giants, like these children were. The giants bore bullies or tyrants.
See that?
That harassed the earth.
Wow. And those Nephilims bore forth Elioids.
Or the Eliud, which we talked about in one teaching, being what we call Bigfoot or Sasquatch, or the abominable snowman, or the Yeti. The Eliud, if you actually do research on that, they were kind of hairy root type things. I told you I've seen one as a child. That actually brought forth that kind of being.
See there? And so I'm gonna go to chapter 8 now. Moreover, Azazel taught men to make swords, knives, shields, breastplates, the fabrication of mirrors, and the workmanship of bracelets and ornaments.
Pause right there. I know when you see mirrors, people are like, well, mirrors don't really, that's not evil. It's not.
Right.
There's nothing evil about a mirror. Matter of fact, in Egypt, they taught people, which was impressive to me, how to beat sand into mirrors and glass. If you ever did any history study, they actually beat sand in the mirrors and glass. But here's the problem with the teaching of mirrors. They actually teach, this is actually something that Michael Jackson taught, was crystallomancy. It was to conjure spirits through a mirror. Thus his song, I'm Looking in the Man in the Mirror. See how simple it was? Yeah. But he actually put it out there. He actually talked in Psychic Magazine that he practiced crystallomancy and would conjure Lee Liberace's spirit through a mirror. That's why his house was made kind of like a fun house, the Neverland Ranch, and had a room of mirrors in it. Yeah. And he actually would conjure spirits through the mirrors. So they showed them the making of mirrors so that they could complete this form of witchcraft by the making of mirrors. So mirrors are not evil.
No.
But the
like
making
knives,
of mirrors.
Just like knives
right.
and
breastplates. Yeah, we all know it's the rule behind the man that uses that weapon to be evil.
See there?
You know, like they say, guns don't kill people, people kill people. And that's true. A gun can be used for anything. Target practice, anything. Bows and arrows can be used for archery. But it's what you do behind that, that evil rule that you have behind that makes it a weapon of evil.
You, sir, are in the rule.
Man.
Because that's what I was going to mention when it comes to that right there. Because all those things, like you said, all the things we named, they're common. Right. Swords, knives, breastplates, they're common. They're not really evil in themselves. And one thing I wanted to highlight too is Azazel in chapter 10, he gets a really bad punishment, like exclusive.
Right.
Exclusive punishment. I'm gonna
Right.
read it to y'all, but since he already brought it up, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about it real quick because he introduced things to mankind that were not supposed to be introduced.
Right.
This is one of the main reasons why he got such a strict punishment, because he exposed mankind to secrets that only the Shabbat was supposed to have. You know what I'm saying? So and we'll get more into that as we continue to read. Do you want to? Let me see.
Yeah, finish this, man. This
Okay.
is good stuff because we gotta talk about the beautifying of eyebrows too,
Okay.
makeup.
All
'Cause
right,
I want to touch. We're gonna touch on all this because why are they targeting us? Yeah, this is a good thing. This right here align up everything that we finna go into.
Hallelujah. Okay. So, anyways,
The workmanship of bracing and ornaments. I think that's what.
yeah, ornaments. The use of paint, the beautifying of the eyebrows, stones in every valuable and select kind.
That means diamonds and stuff too, because some people say crystals, witches use crystals, but stones of every valuable and useful kind that makes crystals, diamonds, bedlam, things that we see
Right.
valuable. You
Right.
get what I'm saying?
Definitely.
They were
which would include the stones on the breastplate of the priest.
right. There you go. Every 12 and all 12 tribes had a stone. That's where we get birthstones from. All 12 tribes has a stone. Matter of fact, Yehuda's was emerald green. So every tribe had a stone. So you can't just say stones are evil because they introduced it to the man. It's
Right.
what you use the stones for. There's actually witchcraft that use
I was
amethyst
just gonna say-
stones.
I was gonna say
The,
that,
pr-
yeah.
the Pope's ring, the Nope Francis ring, is made of amethyst. He's a witch.
Yeah.
But it's not the stone that makes him a witch. It's what he's using the stone for that makes him wicked.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
this
man,
is
it's good
the
stuff.
whole one of the whole premises of why this is such an issue. You know what I'm saying? Why Yahuwah ended up punishing these guys so harshly. You know, the introduction of things, because Yahweh knows we're wicked. You know, not wicked in essence, but you know, we have wicked ways. You know,
Right.
we're easily influenced. You know what I'm saying? And with the waters coming down and doing what they did, you know what I'm saying? They brought about. Look, I'm reading this. It says, and all sorts of dyes.
All sorts of dyes. You dye your clothes. Everything got sorts of dyes in it.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
know, Tabitha or Dorcas was a seller of purple in the Bari Hadashah.
Right. But now here's the problem. So that the world became altered.
There you go. Context is everything.
That's why.
Barak Yahuwah for that.
Hallelujah. That's why Yahweh has a certain pattern that he desires for his people. You know what I'm saying? There's a certain thing that he wants done. He has a will. Like we always talk about, to the kingdom come, will be done on earth as it is in Shemayim.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so what the waters did, they kind of altered that will. You know, and I say it lightly, you know what I'm saying? Because Yahweh's all powerful. I don't want to act like the waters, you know, just had power like that. But at the same time, we have to realize that, you know, they did something that wasn't supposed to be done.
And 2 brings that home. It says the world became altered. Impiety increased, lawlessness increased because of the alteration
Lack
of the
reverence,
world,
as some
and
interpreters say.
fornication multiplied. So this is what actually was the alteration that it's talking about. It's not talking about people were walking around with dyed outfits on and chains and ornaments and beautifying their eyelids. What it did was it drew more fornication, because what they wanted to do, they wanted to wage war against men, make men fight each other so they can take the daughters who have been beautified by the eyelids and things that Dave gave them makeup for. They already thought the women were beautiful, so what's the best thing to do? We get y'all to fight,
Right.
and we beautify your women.
Right.
Because
Kill
these
y'all
were
off.
bullies. These were tyrants.
Yeah.
They're trying to take the women from them. They didn't just come down and marry these women. They came down and took these women from these men. So it's context and everything, man. And it says, and they transgressed and corrupted their ways. What is transgression? Of the Torah. Torah always existed. So they transgressed and corrupted all their ways. Amazarach taught all the sorcerers. Dividers of roots, armors, the solution of sorcery.
I think
that means...
I think Armors is one of the angels. He's one of the angels. Armors,
Right,
yeah, I think he's the one that they said the solution of sorcery.
right.
You know, and what's that?
Potions, what they call antidote potions.
Right.
And it says Bakial, the observers of the stars, or the Kukabim, of the stars, to look at stars and observe them. And it says Barakal, the observer of the stars, Akibal, science, Tamial taught astronomy. And Asadarah taught the motion of the moon, and men being destroyed cried out, and their voice reached the heavens. Man, that's good stuff.
What are you doing? And all these things that were taught, we all talk about how they are against Yahweh.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the sorceries and the astronomies, you know what I'm saying? What they say, observing of stars. It's one thing to look at the stars. It's another thing to worship them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's one thing to, you know what I'm saying, to just look, follow the times through the moons. It's another thing to, you know what I'm saying, to really give your all to the moon. You know what I'm trying to
because
say?
Yahuwah made these things as signs and beacons already.
Right.
In Bereshit or Genesis 1:14, you see, he said he gave you the Kokobim or the stars and the sun and the moon for signs and appointed times. And in that sign, watch this, in order to travel to a feast, you must follow those stars and moon. Because everything on this planet is used to lead you somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's a guiding marker.
There
You
you go.
get what I'm saying? So it doesn't make it wicked to follow those signs and things, but it makes them wicked to look at those things and find out what pattern they have in your life for the rest of your future.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Doc.
They did not have Google Maps.
There you go.
So how
Right.
did they navigate?
There you
Right,
go.
They
right.
navigated
They had to
by the
use them.
creation that Yahweh
Come.
gave us, but they
Come.
did not worship the creation. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. And so with that understanding, man, everything in context, people can use that and say, oh, this is evil because of the fall and gave it to you. But that's not the context that it was saying.
Right.
They were introduced to things of the Shemayim. Because
Mhm.
where did they get it from?
Come on now.
The Shemayim.
Come on now.
So the Shemayim, which is a place of nothing but tube, nothing but good, had these things available.
Mhm.
So what they did was introduce these tube things to them, and then they used them for evil.
Boom.
Before you guys continue, can I just say one thing?
Go ahead, Doc.
All right, so I want to throw this in. You hear a lot about vibrations, you hear a lot about frequencies, you hear a lot about the zodiac, you hear a lot about the stars and the moon,
Chakra
all that
and
kind of
energies.
stuff, all this kind of stuff. Here's my issue with that. All right, I'm not sitting here saying that frequencies and vibrations aren't real.
Right.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that Yahuwah doesn't give signs in the heavens. We know he does that, right?
Right.
What I'm saying is that my issue, especially with people that say that they're in this covenant, is when they talk more about vibrations and frequencies and they talk about obeying the Torah of Yahuwah.
That's right.
Because if we look through all of our history and all of our writings, we don't find anywhere where Yahuwah stressed vibrations, frequencies, and the sun and the moon.
Right.
He
Come on.
stressed obey my commandments.
That's it.
So why
That's
are we
it.
talking about all this other stuff, trying to be deep, and we won't even do what he says?
Exactly.
Right.
And I want to say this before we really jump into it deep. What Yahuwah gave me the other day, Balaam was a sorcerer. If you look at Balaam and Balaam situation, when you first read it on hand, you like, well, Yahuwah talking to him, but he a sorcerer. He knew exactly what name to use, what name to call on, and everything in order to try to curse Yahshay. He didn't go build crystals out. It don't say anything. What he did was build altars and rams to Yahuwah to curse Yahuwah's people. So that means even sorcerers know the patterns of how to go to get things to happen. And this is the reason why I say that. I'm saying that to let you know, like I talk about all the time, abracadabra. Abracadabra is actually a Hebrew. It's abrit. It's abracadabra means a creation by words. And then they pull something out the hat. And then they say tada, which is tadashah, which means to spring forth. So they know that Yahuwah's creation from the Shemayim has power. So a lot of times they may not come with boiling cauldrons with eye of newt and hogwarts in it. You get what I'm saying? They may come in the form of Yahuwah's people to curse you by way of using Yahuwah's name to do it, just like Balaam did. Balaam never used that stuff. All he did was what he knew how to call on Yahweh. So we must be careful.
Yeah.
So that means, watch this, the fallen will target us the same way. Yahusha said there is a way that seemeth right to a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. Matter of fact, he said, make sure the light you have is not truly darkness. So the book is real clear on things like Hashatan masquerading himself as an angel of light. They know they can use what Yahweh has already presented as traps for us. This is how they're going to target us.
Exactly.
So basically, if you really want to look at 8, what we just looked at Chanuk 8, look at it like this. They're offering things for the Shemayim as offerings to get them to follow them.
You know.
They're offering good spiritual things to get them to follow them who are spiritually wicked. You catch what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to.
It makes all the sense in the world.
Come.
It makes all the sense in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you know it's a bargaining chip.
Yeah.
It's a bargaining chip. If these these superior beings really want them to be softened up to them, it's just like you know what I'm saying. You want your child to do good. For example, my son.
Right.
I want him to do right in school. So we'll say, hey, if you do this, you know what I'm saying, we'll give you a snack or something. You know what I'm saying? It's the same.
He said bribery.
Yeah, basically. But it's the same idea. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to relate to people in order to really bring them in. That's the whole way the system even works even today.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because that's what Balaam did. He offered the lambs on the altars and everything to try to bribe Yahweh into cursing his own people. And that's when he burped forth out of his own mouth, he burps the barakah and says, Yah is not a man that he should lie, nor the son of man that he should repent. If he has blessed them, he will bless them continually, and blessed be Yahshay. You get what I'm saying? Because he was trying to bribe Yahweh by offering him things, but you can't bribe Yahweh.
Can't do it.
But you can bribe man.
Come on.
And that's the reason why he went, is because he wanted the silver and gold from the king Bala.
Boom.
So this is what we're showing you, is they offered this to men to kind of bribe them for their daughters.
Right.
The lust of the fallen desired these daughters, so we're going to offer you things to make you feel comfortable with having us around.
Right.
But because we're evil, we can't just sit around y'all in good things. We finna destroy y'all people.
Right,
We
right.
finna make life hard for you.
Exactly.
And that's why
exactly.
men begin to cry on the earth.
And in turn,
I hope we made that clear.
in turn, Yahweh, I think we did.
Yeah, but right, Yahuwah.
Hallelujah. But in turn, Yahweh had plans for them boys.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Serious business. All right, so check this out. Verse 9. I'm going to say verse 9, and I want you to go ahead and go do what you got to do. But chapter 9. Then Michael and Gabriel, Raphael, Shuriel, and Uriel, all archangels that didn't do what these other guys did, looked down from Shemayim and saw the quantity of blood which was shed on earth, and all the iniquity which was done upon it, and said one to another, the voice of their cries. The earth deprived has cried even to the gates of Shemayim. And now to you, Qadash one of Shemayim, the souls of men complain, saying, bring judgment to us from El Elyon. Then they said to the Adonai, the king of Adonai, Then they said to their Adonai, the king, Adonai of Adonim, Elohim of Elohim, King of kings, the throne of your esteem is forever. And forever and ever is your name sanctified and esteemed. You are Baruch and esteemed. You have made all things. You possess power over all things, and all things are open and manifest before you. You behold all things, and nothing can be concealed from you. You have seen what Azazel has done, how he has taught every species of iniquity upon earth, and has disclosed to the world all the secret things which are done in Shemayim. Like we said earlier, that's the issue. That's the problem. There are things that were disclosed to the children of men that wasn't supposed to happen. And before I continue, what you got?
Until they go to the Shemayim.
Until they go to Shemayim.
And I want you to notice that, watch this, even though all this was going on, Yahweh allowed it. Just because Yahweh allows it doesn't mean he approves of it.
Come on.
You get what I'm saying? I want to make that clear here, because he's watching. Right. It takes that his archangels, his malakim, his watchers, to actually come and say, hey, you're watching all this go on. What are you going to do about it? We see this right here. We see actually the mind of Yahweh right here in this text, that you doing what you want to. Why? Because I gave you free will to do it. And I gave the fallen, they had free will too. They left the estate. They seen all this. Right. So I'm letting two creatures that have literal free will operate in free will. I'm not going to say nothing.
Right.
Because this is what you wanted. Right. See, Yahweh wants a relationship with us himself. He doesn't want to force this relationship. He could have wiped them all out then. But it takes the Raphael, Uriel, Zuriel, Michael, and Gabriel all to come to him and say, hey, look what's going on in Haaretz. Right. Are you going to do something about it? Right. Why? Because their petition is righteous. He listens to the petitions of the righteous. So now, his ear is inclined to them.
There you go.
So go ahead.
No. You go ahead and I know you said you had a scripture you want to go to.
All right. I want to I want to show this.
Okay.
I'm gonna read the rest of that too. Semyaza has also taught sorcery, to whom you have given authority over those who are associated with him. They have gone together with the daughters of men and laid with them. They have become polluted. They have become polluted. You notice that they didn't pollute the daughters. The daughters polluted them. Because when you leave somewhere, Qadash, and you go into pollution, it pollutes you, not the other way around.
Right, exactly.
Man.
Exactly.
And it says, and they have revealed their crimes to them. The women likewise have brought forth giants, and the whole earth is filled with blood and lawlessness. And now behold, the souls of those who are dead cry out and complain even to the gate of Shemaim. Every time you kill somebody, I've researched in this script from Habal, from righteous Habal to Zachariahu, the prophet that was killed between the porch and the altar. Every time you slay innocent blood, it cries up to Yahweh. And based on study and research, this is where we get places like Queen Mary, haunted houses from. Because what happens is when you spill innocent blood, fallen are appointed at that place as a witness that you have spilled innocent blood there. It becomes their territory. It's like a blood sacrifice.
Right.
So these spirits are crying up to the ground, from the ground to Yahuwah, and they are crying out. It causes something to change in the atmosphere of where it's at. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, man, it's like, it's crazy. When you study that, man, and you see, when they begin to talk about real haunted houses, those places really have demonic or spiritual activity in them because a young girl may have been molested and killed there. Something is bringing a rule there as a stronghold or a region over that house. He feels like that's his place now.
Right.
Man, it's crazy.
He's allowed to do what
he
got to do. You know what I'm saying?
And complain even to the gate of heaven. They're grown to sin and they escape from the unrighteous which is committed on earth. You know all things before they exist. Talking to Yahweh. You know these things and what has been done by them. Yet you do not, watch this, speak to us. What on account of these things ought we do to them? You see that? So then he brings out the curses, but we're going to jump. You can read 10 yourself. You got 10?
Yeah, I got 10 actually.
Go ahead. I know I got 15 and 8, but we got 10 too. Go ahead.
Yeah, because, I mean, if you want to read it, you can read it because, one of the reasons why I wanted to read 10, though, is to really bring home what we talked about earlier.
The punishment.
The punishment, especially of Azazel. You know what I'm saying? And these punishments are key to understand when we talk about where we are today. You know what I'm saying? In order for us to understand where we are today, we got to understand where we've been, where we came from. That's right. You know what I'm saying? And this is the whole premise, the whole purpose why I wanted to bring this whole spiel to y'all, so you can really understand where we came from, where all this turmoil, all this stuff we deal with as Kadashim comes from. And also, to all those on Facebook, to all those on Watchman, if you have any comments, if you have any questions, go ahead and comment. Go ahead and ask the questions, because this is a lot. Yeah. It's a lot.
Get in.
You know what I'm saying?
Building up to it. So here we go. 10 and 1.
10 and 1. All right.
Then El Elyon, the great and Qadash one, spoke and sent Yahshay Layur.
I'm glad you said that.
Say that.
I'm glad you said that.
4 times fast. That is Nu's name, who we
that.
call Noah. That is his real name.
Yeah.
Yahshay Layur. That is his name.
Right.
He was nicknamed Nu because they knew rest would come to the earth. Or Manaham, or the Comforter.
Right.
Because those were nicknames, but that was his true name to the son of Lamech.
Right.
And sent actually it says he sent to the son of Lamech, saying. So maybe I'm wrong on that. Sorry, I thought that was his name, but it's to the son of Lamech.
Name, though. He did. Yeah.
To the son of Lamech, saying, say to him in my name, conceal yourself. Then explain to him the consummation which is about to take place. For all of Haaretz shall perish, and waters of the deluge shall come to the whole earth, and all things which are in it shall be destroyed. So they send a message to the son of Lamech.
Right, which is Noah. You know what I'm saying? Boom, go ahead.
And then it says, and teach him how he may escape, and how his seed may remain in all the earth. And again Yahweh said to Raphael, bind Azazel hand and foot, cast him into the darkness, and opening the desert which is in Duadal, cast him there. That's when you see in Leviticus or Uyakra 16, you see the goat. They call it the scapegoat. It actually goes to Azazel. You appoint it. You put all your crimes from Yasharal on that goat and release it in the wilderness. this is that wilderness due to all. So that means it's a real place.
Right.
Because they wouldn't even go. Why would they even go through all this? And Yahuwah give them instructions to do this
Just like
from Chanuk. So that means Chanuk is a valid book that should be in the text.
And the pit is a real place too, as we're going to see as this chapter proceeds.
And cast him in darkness, opening up the desert, which is in Duadal, cast him there. Throw him in, hurled upon him, throw up on him, hurled and pointed stone.
Whatever.
God, dog. Wow. Covering him with darkness. And there he shall remain forever, cover his face, that he may not see the light. And in the great day of judgment, let him be cast into the fire. This is just like Revelations. Out of darkness, lake of fire. Same stuff. That's why they removed this book too. Restore the earth. Matter of fact, it was Martin Luther that wanted to remove Revelations. Revelations wasn't even supposed to be in our text now. So it's supposed to be 65 books instead of 66. Actually less than that, because he wanted to get rid of Yaakov too, because Yaakov talks about your works being applied to belief. So he was trying to remove everything.
Yeah.
So we're showing you what the book actually has in it to line up and confirm what you've already read.
Exactly.
And it says, in the great day of judgment, let him be cast into the fire, restore Haaretz, which the angels have corrupted, and announce life to it, that I may revive it. You have to announce life to something.
Come on now, you got to spit that thing.
Huh?
You got to spit to that boy.
Death and life is in the power of the tongue. He says, announce life to it so that I can revive it.
Man,
Speak life to even earth in what's going on right here.
Yeah.
Man, that's powerful. And it says, all the sons of men shall not perish in the consequence of every secret, by which the watchers have destroyed.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Just to go back to that, because I have that highlighted on my page. All the sons of men shall not perish in consequence of every secret. Going back to what he just said, like I said, the ring was on you, man, because I had all that, you know, said lined up. You know, everything that we, you know, said see that the watchers introduced wasn't bad in and of itself. You know what I'm saying? It's the intent behind it, the iniquity, the impiety behind it. You know what I'm saying? The watchers gave AK-47s to 2-year-olds.
Man, that's a good way to see that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And this is the problem. Go ahead, man.
Man, that's good. And it says, they shall not perish in the consequence of every secret by which the watchers have destroyed, which they have taught their offspring. All the earth has been corrupted by the effects of the teaching of Azazel. To him, therefore, ascribe the whole crime. Azazel is Sinyaza. So remember, at the first of it, he said, I want y'all to make an oath. I'm afraid y'all gonna punk out. Remember he said that? Because the whole thing might fall on me. Yahuwah knew his heart and put the whole thing on him anyway.
Got him.
You see that?
Got him.
Let me let you know something. It ain't even your actions that Yahuwah are looking at. He's looking at the intent in your heart behind your actions. Because in this, he knew that he didn't want that whole crime to fall on him. So he was like, man, let's make an oath together so it'll look like everybody's in agreement. But Yahuwah seen past that. That's why when they came to him in 9, he says, he who knows all things. He knew. So because I know all things, I'm putting the entire crime up on you, buddy.
It's on you, buddy.
It's dropping on you right now.
Get it.
And man, this is crazy. So to him, therefore, ascribe the whole crime. To Gabriel also, Yahuwah says, go to the bastards and the reprobates. So the children born in fornication ain't even in marriage to the Yahuwah. Because you're bastards, because you're made from strange flesh and humans. You see that? And the reprobates. Man. To the children of fornication, and destroy the children of fornication. The offspring of the watchers from among men. Bring them forth, and excite them one against another. They agitate one against another.
Right.
Let them perish by mutual slaughter, for the length of days shall not be theirs. You got something up?
For the length of days shall not be theirs. I just want y'all to hear that. Hear that. That's coming back. Go ahead.
And it says, they shall entreat you, but their fathers shall not obtain their wishes. They shall all entreat you. That means they were asking Gabriel to spare them. Boy.
Thank you for saying that. Man. Go ahead.
And for they shall hope for eternal life, that they may live, each of them 500 years. To Machal likewise, Yahuwah said, go and announce his crime to Semyaza, and to the others who are with him, who have been associated with women, that they might be polluted with all their impurity. And when all their sons shall be slain, they shall see the perdition of their beloved. Bind them for 70 generations underneath the earth, even to the day of judgment and the consummation unto the judgment. The effect of this will last forever and be completed. Watch this. That's why in Mark 5, you see the man of Gadara who had the demons in him say, have you come to torment us before our time? You see, this book's supposed to be here. It's supposed to be in the text. So that's why he says, and we're going to look at that later if we get time. He doesn't say son of Elohim. No. He says champion of the mighty or champion of the almighty. That's the true text. Have you come to torment us before our time? Because he knew Yahuwah had already gave him a sentence. They knew that Yahuwah was Yahusha.
See?
They knew it.
They knew it.
That's why he bowed. They said the man bowed. The demons in that man bowed and worshipped him before he spoke.
Man,
come on, man. Demons know there's one Yahweh. And tremble. You do well. That's what the book says. But even demons, you old vain man, know that Yahuwah is one and tremble.
Hallelujah.
All right.
Hallelujah.
And then they shall be taken away from the lowest depths of the fire and torments. And confinement, they shall be shut up forever. And immediately after all this shall Yahshay, together with them, burn and perish. They shall be bound unto the consummation of many generations. Now, pay attention to this, man. This is for everybody. This is for everybody. This is not even just for demons. Destroy all the souls addicted to lust. Destroy all souls addicted to lust and the offspring of the watchers. For they have tyrannized over mankind. Let every oppressor perish from the face of Haaretz. Let every evil work be destroyed, and the plant of righteousness and the rectitude appear, and its produce, or its pari, its fruit, become a blessing. Righteousness and rectitude shall be forever planted with delight, and then shall all the Qadashim give thanks, and live until they have begotten 1,000 children, when the whole period of their youth and their Sabbaths be completed in shalom, or peace. In those days, the earth will be cultivated in righteousness. This is Revelation, by the way. This is 22 exactly. It shall be wholly planted with trees and filled with benediction. Every tree of delight shall be planted in it, and the vine shall be planted. The vine shall be planted in it, shall yield fruit to satiety, to be satisfied. Every seed which shall be sown in it shall produce for one measure 1,000, and from one measure of olives shall produce 10 presses of oil. Wow, this is the increase.
Hallelujah.
Purify the earth from all oppression, from all injustice, from all crime, from all impiety, and from all the pollution which is committed upon it. Exterminate them from the earth. And then shall all the children of men be righteous, and all nations shall pay me divine honors and barak me, and all shall adore me. The earth shall be cleansed from all corruption, from every crime, from all punishment, from all suffering. Neither will I again send a deluge, a flood. See, Yahuwah is eternal, so he's speaking futuristic. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
He's speaking for a time to come, because 1,000 years is but a day to him. But it still has to happen after the flood. Man, this is good stuff. Upon the generation to generation forever. In those days I will open up the treasures. This is what Christians say. It's like, this is what they say all the time, but they don't understand this. In those days will I open up the treasures of blessings which are in heaven. What is he talking about? Rain. It's not a blessing when you pay your tithes. It's opening up the treasure of my theater is rain. He's pouring rain down from the Shemayim. Rain is supposed to be a barakah. Why? How do you get your fruit to produce?
Come on now.
You need rain.
Gotta have it.
So to Yahuwah, rain is a blessing. You know, when it rains on rainy days, everybody get all drab, listen to sad songs. Except farmers. Oh, I hate rainy days, but the rain is actually a barakah. That's why when I see rain, I instantly say, Barak Yahweh Laha Matir.
There you go.
That means, thank you, exalt you, Yahweh, for the rain. It's the same word as like teardrop. Tear. It's matir. It means continual droppings. Man, the Abra is it's
too.
So he will open up the treasures of blessings which are in the Shemayim, that I caused them to sin up on earth. So a blessing to the righteous is a curse to the wicked.
Man.
And upon all the works and labor of men, peace and equity shall be associated with the sons of men all the days of the world in every generation of it. So he's using a barakah for the righteous to be a punishment for the wicked.
Hallelujah.
Go ahead.
So I asked the question, champion of who, when you were mentioning?
The champion of the Almighty. It's the actual translation. When you look at that, it's translated son of Elohim. When demons say it, they actually say Aish or Ish Abir. Ish Abir actually means champion of the Almighty. So they translated son of Elohim, but they knew that he was the selected elect one, champion of the Almighty. How you know that? If you go to, I think it's 1 Samuel 17. Go to 1 Samuel 17, where it calls Goliath the champion of the Philistines. You'll find that same word, Ash or Ish. That's what we say for man, Ash or Ash. And we have an Asha. We are the champion of that woman. That's why he says you shall rule over her. You will be the champion. So when it says Ish Abir, you can actually translate it either man of Elohim or champion of Elohim. And that's what the demons called him, man of Elohim. They knew he came as he was Yahweh in the flesh. They knew this for a fact. So they didn't translate it son of Elohim when they said it. They said Ish Abir or Ash Abir, which is champion of the mighty.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a whole breakdown on that teaching later on, but I want you to understand that even demons know Yahuwah is Yahusha. So great question.
So if I may recap just a tad bit.
Go ahead.
For they shall hope for eternal life, and that they may live. And also it talks about how they're gonna be they're gonna be bound for 70 generations underneath the earth, even to the day of judgment and the consummation, until judgment affects. I'm saying all that to say this. This is the settlement for their crimes, and there's still more to come.
More coming.
More to come. More to come now. But there are things that they won't be able to experience that we can.
Come.
You know what I'm saying? The
repentance is one of them.
Repentance is one of them.
Come.
Once again, we're gonna go to that. We're gonna get to that. You know what I'm saying? But I just want y'all to stay with us when we talk about this. There are variables that are spoken of concerning the judgment of the watchers and of their offspring that have to be considered when we talk about why they target us as humans, why they don't want us to, why they try to trick us at every turn to transgress the Torah of Yahweh and ultimately not be in his kingdom.
And here's a key point to that. Let's go to Chanuk or Enoch 15 and 8. I want y'all to hear this so you'll know what you're dealing with and what you're up against. Because I really don't think that people actually believe in witchcraft anymore.
No.
I don't think people believe in witchcraft anymore. Because if you did, it wouldn't bleed over into the Abrit belief system.
Right.
Or people who call themselves Hebrew Israelites or things like that. It really wouldn't be able, it would be something that was unheard of and untouchable if you believe that these demons and witchcraft were real. But you really don't. What you're doing is you don't really believe the book. You're just trying to get so close to your culture that you ignore simple facts that even they understood, because that's why your culture dabbled into those spirits. Now I'm gonna show you.
And why your culture got judged.
Come on. Now the giants who have been born of the root or spirit and of flesh, they're a mixture of spirit and flesh, shall be called upon Haaretz evil ruhud. This is 15 and 8. Evil ruhud or evil spirits. Wow.
I don't know why I didn't say nothing when you said that, because that was the last thing I was going to talk about.
Man,
so go ahead and go to it. Go ahead and go to it.
Evil ruhud shall proceed from their flesh, because they were created from above. So because that pure thing came down and laid with something that is sold into crime, because of what Adam did, it corrupts it. You ever watch the Transformers? The Allspark, that cube,
yeah, right.
Islam, that cube on the Allspark, no matter what touches it, never becomes good. If a toaster touches it, it becomes an evil toaster and tries to kill you. They get this from this.
Yeah, right.
Because it comes from the Shemayim and because it has fallen. Matter of fact, on that very Transformer movie, it was called The Revenge of the Fallen.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
If you think we're making this
they
Hollywood knows, man. Hollywood knows.
Know it,
so whenever something from the Shemayim has failed, whatever it touches become corrupted. It will not become good.
Come on.
Huh?
Come on.
A evil tree can't bear good fruit. Just like a good tree can't bear evil fruit. Yahushua broke this down when he was here.
Hallelujah.
So whatever falls and you touch it and you become like that thing, you like idols. You become like it. Why? Because it's something created from the fallen.
There you go.
So you become as it is. So watch this.
Hallelujah.
Evil spirits shall come from their flesh because they were created from above, from the Qadash Watchers that were from the beginning primary foundation. That was the primary foundation. Evil ruhus shall be in Haaretz, or the earth, and the ruhut of the wicked shall they be called.
And the ruhut of the wicked shall they be called.
Yeah, the spirits of the wicked shall they, or wicked spirits shall they call. The habitation of the spirits of heaven shall be in heaven. So that means the home of good spirits shall be in the Shemayim. Watch this. But the earth, upon Haaretz, shall be the habitation of the earthly spirits, or earthly ruhut.
So there's earth.
Wow.
So there's earth. So there are spirits that are confined only
That's right.
to the terrestrial.
And that kills your moon landing idea, because if I was an evil spirit trying to escape, 2,000 of us Legion guys would indwell an astronaut and then escape.
There you go.
I'm just being
And they
real
can
with
do
you.
that. And
They
they
would
can do that.
indwell to escape, but this is their prison. They
Yeah.
were born on Haaretz. The Rakia is over it, the Van Allen belt, but we ain't gonna
Yeah.
go into science right now.
Right.
It's something keeping them here.
Yeah.
So the clean spirits are in the Shemayim. So the evil spirits are on earth. Now, so let me hit this real quick.
Right.
This is why Hashatan, when it says he presented himself with the sons of Elohim, or the B'nai Elohim, the clean spirits, he is not walking in the Shemayim. You know, on Superbook, they got him walking in there with his
Right.
hooves
He-
and
in
his
that one,
wings.
yeah.
He walked right to the throne in the
He all
Shemayim.
hard
He
with that.
cannot do that. He's presenting himself on Haaretz with them to present his case. When you see in the book of Ayub or Job, when he presents himself with them, they are doing it somewhere here on Haaretz. They're doing it on earth. He can't come into the Shemayim. Go ahead, Ak.
Just reinforcement of that is how even Enoch had to intercede for them.
Come on.
So Enoch, when they were asking for repentance, they couldn't even go before Yahuwah themselves.
That's right.
They couldn't.
And then even Yahuwah kind of embarrassed them and mocked them. It's like,
That's
why
right.
a man shouldn't be coming for you. You should be coming for the man.
That's-
That's
I
what
got
the
it.
book said.
I got
and
it.
they
We gon-
veiled themselves even when they prayed.
We're going to read that.
They veiled themselves even when they prayed. So Hashatan cannot go to the Shemayim. That's a myth. He can't go up there and present himself anytime he wants. That's why he says, where have you been? He said, I've been to and fro the earth. I've just been hanging out.
I hear.
Looking for whom I made survive. I'm just hanging out. He didn't, Yahuwah knows all things. Why did he say that? It was a key. Everything is written for our learning. It was to let us know that he's going to and fro the earth. He's not going up into the skies, going to another planet, corrupting the planet, then coming back and doing what he want to do. No,
Right, no.
he don't have that freedom. This is a prison for him. So his operation is around this place. And it's a movie coming out, and I'm going to share this real movie, because I got to expose this movie, called The Messiah, where he's traveling. He's in Israel at one point, then he's in another place. And the Muslims are saying he's a Dajjal. Dajjal is an evil thing, kind of like equal to the Antichrist, they call it.
Okay.
And they said that's why he's zipping everywhere, because evil spirits zip everywhere. Yahushua walked. Yahushua never used his authority to zip everywhere. You notice that? He never used it. He walked as a man and brought compassion of Yahweh. He could have went anywhere he wanted to, but he did that with that purpose to let people know, I want to show you my compassion. I'm not just popping up in every place I want to pop up. I'm showing you that I'm trying to bring you to me as my chosen people.
Exactly.
He had compassion on his people and on the other nations. You get what I'm saying? So when they talk about how this thing is zipping everywhere, and I'm gonna expose it later on, but that is zipping everywhere, it shows that one who is seeking to corrupt the whole earth. See, Hashatan, he's fast. He's not omnipresent. He can't be everywhere at once. But he's so fast, he can go everywhere because he's a Ruh. He can speed through.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And so that's what people gotta understand. These things are bound to Haaretz. They bound to the earth, and they are bound here unto their judgment, and then they're put in the heart of the earth as punishment.
But until that time, they are here to cause as much ruckus
That's right.
as they possibly can. I think there's even a scripture
Because they
behind
came
that.
from us. So you talk about guardian angels, you actually have guardian demons.
Right.
You actually have demons that are assigned to you to bring you to the pit.
Right. They bring you to the pit to cause you to fornicate, to cause you to commit adultery, idolatry, to cause you to lie, to cause you to do anything. These are the spirits these, my friend, because I was going to wait till the end. I'm going to say it. These are the spirits that we're talking about.
Build it up.
Yeah, I'm trying to build it up. I had a lot online. You know what I'm
hype you
saying?
up.
No, you good though. You good though, because this is how the Ruach wanted to go. You know what I'm saying? These Ruach, these spirits that come from these fallen, are the same Ruach that are influencing us to do all these things, to say all these things, to fornicate, even in the Arabic community. You know what I'm saying? We see all these people so adamant on doing things that are completely against Torah, and you like, where does this come from? Like, where like this, like witchcraft. Folk love witchcraft, but Deuteronomy 18:9-13 is clear about what how Yahweh feels about it. He said, he don't even want us looking at that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, so we have to understand that when we talk about spirits, we're not talking about just random beings that just came out of nowhere. They have a purpose here on earth for you, for everybody that's here right now. They want to take us out, okay? They want us to commit as much crime as possible so that Yahuwah can say, hey, depart from me.
That's right.
You work of iniquity.
Come on.
I never knew you. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
Then Apostle Shaul even breaks it down even further. He said, be careful lest you entertain angels unaware, or Malachim or messengers.
Come on now.
Why would he give that warning? He gives that warning because if you go back to the book and Yahshay, in the straight path, the book of Yahshay, what they call Yahshay, Hashatan molded himself into an old man to tempt him, and molded himself into a young man to tempt his son, and then changed back into an old man to make his wife sorrowful, and then changed into a flood. So you may be being entertained, or you may be entertaining an evil spirit that you think is a thick woman.
Yeah.
You might, oh man, she's just so bad, and she knows me so well.
Yeah. Yes, she does.
And that's why I try to kill the idea of soul ties, because that's not in scripture. This is why I know that. Adam says she was flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone. That's bashar. That word is bashar. And bone, I can't even get the Arabic word right now, but those two words never mention soul. Matter of fact, even in Jubilees 13, he says your wife of your bosom, let her not deceive you, and your friend who is like your own soul. So the friend is mentioned as a soul, never the woman you sleep with. Why? Because that's not a soul tie. You know why? Because Yahweh does not want to give you that excuse. Because if you say it's a soul tie, if I slept with you in high school, I'm going to be tied to you for the rest of my life.
Right.
That's not of Yahuwah. That's why he tells you the woman of your bosom, because you can actually cut it off. You get what I'm saying? You can actually break it off. When you teach that there's soul ties, to me, I'm just breaking based on scripture. I'm not going to say to me, because I'm not putting my opinion in it. Based on scripture, there is no woman who is like your own soul. He says the friend is like your own soul. That's why you see Dawood love Yohanan more than any woman. Because why? You are like-minded in following Yahuwah.
There you go.
And your Napash lines up. That's what soul is. Napash,
right,
it lines up with Yahuwah. So when you say a woman, you have a soul tie with a woman, or you lay with a woman and you are tied to her, you are not. What the scripture actually says is, if you lay with a harlot, you become as a harlot. That's not a soul tie. You just becoming that evil thing that you were supposed to avoid. Go ahead, Doc.
We'll get to that.
but I hear so many people teaching that, and that's not script. Right. You get what I'm saying? When you say soul ties, what it is you're giving the enemy something he's heard to make it seem like, oh man, this woman is just like me. She connects to me so well. Right. But Yahuwah never brings that. Let me read Jubilees 13 real quick. Go ahead.
Look, a lot of this stuff we've just been, honestly.
Boy, I know what you're finna go.
We've been taught this stuff by a lot of different things. I'm gonna tell you one thing we've been taught this stuff by. Some of this stuff comes from feminism.
Right.
A lot of this stuff comes from sorcery and witchcraft.
That's right.
It comes from sorcery and witchcraft.
A lot of stuff come from what's the name, Aleister Crowley.
Yep. If we look in the scriptures, and we see how Yahuwah describes the relationship between man and woman, there is no precept for soul ties, the way it's presented. There's no precept.
It's none.
Matter of fact, the way Yahuwah describes it, for real, sex ain't even really that deep to him.
Thank you. Watch this. I'm going to show you.
What you got?
This is Deuteronomy. I'm going to tell you what he says. I'm going to read this whole thing to that point. If there arise among you a prophet or a nabi or a dreamer of dreams, and gives you a sign or a wonder, and the sign or wonder come to pass whereas he has spoke to you, saying, let us go after other Elohim. That's adultery to Yahuwah. That's the actual adultery that you see in the Ten Commandments. Watch this. And it says, which you have not known, let us serve him. You shall not hearken to the words of that nabi or that prophet or a dreamer of dreams. For Yahweh Elohim proves you to know whether you love Yahweh Elohim with all your heart and with all your soul. If you have a tie of a soul to somebody else, you can't love Yahweh with something that's supposed to be all his. Let me keep going. And he shall walk after Yahweh Elohim and fear him and guard out his commandments and obey his voice and shall serve him and cleave unto him. And that nabi or that prophet or dreamer a dream shall be put to death because he has spoken to turn you away from Yahweh Elohim, which brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim, to redeem you out of the house of bondage, to thrust you out of the way which Yahweh Elohim or your power, your Almighty, commanded you to walk in. You shall put away the evil from the midst of you. If your brother or the son of your mother or your son or your daughter or the woman of your bosom or your friend which is as your own soul. The friend is mentioned as your own soul more than your woman is. You see that? That's his text. Entice you secretly, say, let us go and serve Allah Elohim, which you have not known, you nor not your fathers, namely the Elohim of the people which are around you, near to you, or far off from you, from one end of Haaretz to the other end of Haaretz. You shall not consent unto him, nor hearken to him, neither shall your eye pity him, neither shall you spare him, neither shall you hide him, but you shall surely kill him, and your hand shall be first upon him to put him to death, and afterwards the hands of the people.
Now, you went through all that, and you saw we saw clear script and clear precept. All right, now check this out. I want to make sure people understand what I said.
Go ahead.
I talk about how when it comes to what, in the context of what we're talking about.
And make sure folk on the Watchman can hear you too. Speak up, man.
In the context of what's being spoken here, on that level, sex is not that deep to Yahuwah.
Right.
When it comes to them trying to make it about a connection of a soul connection.
Right.
Because Yahuwah gives clear instruction here that even if your woman
Of your bosom.
Right.
That lays in your
tries to
chest.
entice you to go away from him,
That's right, get rid of
then
her.
you cut her off.
And that's every book. If she a witch, you cut off.
If you're a witch, you cut off. So the thing is that we got too much Aristotle and Confucius,
Right.
And
Yeah.
Plato.
We
Yeah,
going off of Greek
too much philosophy.
Yeah,
We
and
got
Erica
this
Badu.
philosophy.
Yeah, come on.
And
Erica
Yeah,
Badu.
oh,
Yeah.
Bruh.
We got all this philosophy.
Baduism.
We got all this
That's the name of
philosophy,
her
but don't
album.
got no Torah.
Come.
That's the problem. We got
Yeah.
philosophy, but we don't have Torah. We'd rather listen to a philosopher than listen to the word of Yahuwah.
Yeah.
If we look at how Yahuwah describes things, if we really be honest and look at how he describes relationships, we can say that he doesn't even require that you have an emotional connection with the person you marry.
That's right.
He don't even require that.
They don't.
He requires you as a man to take care of her.
That's
There you
right.
go. There you go.
To love means to care for her
Yeah.
and
Right.
take care of her like he commanded you to.
right.
He didn't command anywhere where you have to just be all head over heels
Yeah.
for anybody.
That's right.
It's an action word.
It's an action.
And let me tell you why I know that's true what you're saying. Remember Daoud's son who lusted after his own sister. He wanted her so bad, but once he laid with her, he hated her. He hated her guts. He didn't draw him closer to her. He hated her guts. And there's many scriptures like that where a man lusted after a woman, and then once he got her, he hated her guts.
You know what? That kills the soul tie also. Here's
That's
another
right.
one. Even we even have law in Torah that says that if you lie with her and you don't want her afterward, so it was speaking of how just lying with someone does not make you
That's
attached
right.
to them.
That's right.
It don't make
That's
you attached
right.
to them. Just lying with somebody.
That's right.
Yeah.
And if that was the case, that's why Daoud wanted Uriah to lay in and seem to have impregnated Bathsheba. There was no tie there. He was just trying to escape the trouble that he knew he was going to be in to Yahweh.
Right.
Matter of fact, Yahweh even told him at this time, since the child shall die, but you should not die from this one, but you should die from this one. Actually, look at the text. So soul ties is something that's the reason why I'm bringing that up. Because when you got to be careful the words you speak. Like I said, speak life unto earth, and I'll revive it. Because when you say you have a soul tie to somebody, you are excusing your lust for that person. What it is you have a spirit of lust upon you to make you desire that person, and you can't shake it. So you say, I must be tied to them or intertwined physically through our souls. By me taking in taking her into myself or me coming into her, then I am tied to her. And evil spirits love that conversation. You know why? Because spirits sleep with people too. That's why you have succubus and incubus. They come in the form of dreams. That's why he said a dreamer of dreams, and lay with people in their sleep. So you have to be careful to the ties that you say you have with a person.
Can we kill that just a little bit more?
Go ahead, shoot it down.
You guys go.
No, you got it, man.
Not even planning it, you know.
Hey, that's what we're here for.
Let's kill a little bit more.
All right.
Yaakov with Rachel. Yaakov loved Rachel before he slept with her.
That's right. And he had already slept with Leah.
Yahshay, and Rebekah.
He loved her before he
He
slept
loved
with
her before he touched her sexually.
That's right.
So all this sex, soul tie, this stuff is coming from other
Worldly.
places. It's worldly.
carnal.
Yeah, man.
her. No profit to it.
Also, Yahuwah gives commandment that if a man that doesn't even have a connection with a woman, but he takes that woman, he says that you can't even get rid of her.
That's
in
right.
some situations.
That's
you
right.
may not even want her, but Yahuwah's not looking at that. He's looking at that you cut covenant with this woman. It don't have nothing to do. He's not talking about no soul tie. He's not talking about no emotion.
Here's an example.
You have to care for her.
If your brother dies without a seed, you have to lay with his wife. You can hate that woman, but you have to fulfill that through sex. There's no tie there. There's no tie there. So we have to stop. We have to stop
That's
that
true,
because
that's
what
true.
that is exacting the same lust spirit that these fallen had.
Yeah.
You ask them, are
The
they
same
targeting
lust-
you?
the
This is one of the
same lust-
targets that they have
the
because
same
they
lust.
wanted these women so bad that they were saying we are willing to leave everything good that we see in the Shemayim.
Everything, man.
We
Everything.
see Yahweh on a daily basis. We have communion with him. There's a rainbow over his throne.
Yeah.
You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
There is crystals.
See?
Miles and miles of crystals before him. We are willing to leave all this for the lust of our hearts.
Wow.
It is just that serious. So when they get
Same
down here
Lord.
and they whisper to you soul tie,
Boom.
it's the same thing. You can leave the one you're supposed to give all your napash to. When you do the Shema Yasharal, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Ahad, Uhab Ta'at Yahweh Elaheka, and you shall love him with all. Call Labab, call Lab, all your inner man.
Yes, sir.
Call Napashka, all your soul. It translates because your soul is your full being.
Full being.
So when you say somebody actually has a soul tie to you, what you're saying is, I love Yahuwah, but that person has part of what he's supposed to have. That's dangerous. So we must get out of saying those things of the occult that have been placed into us thinking we need someone when all we need is Yahweh. And love those among us, our neighbor and our wife. Love our women like ourselves. Love them like ourselves, but they're not our soul. You get what I'm saying? Go ahead. Huh?
No, you got it, man. I don't
Barak
shoot.
Yahuwah, man.
You went off on that thing, man. I can't follow that.
Man,
I can't follow that.
You can't. This is your
Whatever.
thing.
You know what I'm saying?
But
Yeah.
what I'm saying is these are the things that we see. For the sake of time, man, we got a little more time. We got a little more time.
Yeah. Gospel said you kind of got Baruch and everything like that. I was going to pass it on to you as far as what you got.
I was gonna go to new. Go to Jubilees or Yubhalym 10:13.
LJ or Mark, can I get one of y'all to help me out real quick? Appreciate it.
Jubilees.
You take over for me just for a minute?
Yubhalym 10:13. Hold it steady. And shalom to all who watching, man. Total robber, man. We just servants, man. You know, we just abadim. You know what I'm saying? Just doing the work. So we're just trying to get y'all to understand what this book is actually saying.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna read some of these curses too from the because this is why they come from us. So let's go to 10. This is Yubhalym of Jubilees 10:1. And in the third week of Jubilee, the unclean devils begin to lead astray the children of the sons of Nu, and make them err and destroy them. Look at that. Who led them astray?
Yeah.
The unclean devils. The sons of Nu came to Nu, their father, and told them concerning the devils which were leading astray and blinding and slaying his sons. And he prayed before Yahweh Eloheinu. That means his Elohim. And he said, Elohim of the Ruhut of all flesh, who have shown mercy unto me and have saved me and my sons from the waters of the flood, and has not caused me to perish as you did the sons of perdition. For your hasad has been great towards me, and great has been your mercy to my soul. Let your hasad, or your goodness or kindness, lift up upon my sons, and let not the wicked ruhut or spirits rule over them, lest they should destroy them from Haaretz. And do you bless me and my sons, that we should increase and multiply and replenish Haaretz. And you know how your watchers, the fathers of these Wuhu,
There you go.
acted in my day. So this lines up with Jubilees, lines up with Chanuk,
Exactly.
that the watchers are the fathers of these evil spirits, just like we read in 15.
Exactly.
Man, it's good stuff.
Hallelujah.
And it says, acted in my day, as for these Wuhu which are living, imprison them and hold them fast in a place of condemnation. And let them not bring destruction on the sons of your servant, my Elohim. For these are malignant. Malignant means dangerous. Whenever you have a malignant curse, that means dangerous. These are malignant. Benign means not dangerous. But these are dangerous and created in order to destroy. Look at that. And let them not rule over the Ruhut or spirits of the living, for you alone can exercise dominion over them, and let them not have power over the sons of the righteous from henceforth and forevermore. And Yahweh Eloheinu bade us to bind all. And the chief of the Ruhut, Mastama, came and said, Yahweh, Creator, let some of them remain before me, and let them listen to my voice, and do all that I shall say unto them. For if some of them are not left to me, and I shall not be able to execute the power of my will over the sons of men. Translation, I won't be able to make these humans do what thou wilt.
Do what thou wilt, huh?
He knows because they came from him, he can control his children. So because these spirits came from him, and because they came from mankind, they can make things in your mind seem as you're thinking them.
Right.
Oh man, I sure would like to go over there and holler at that female. Or I sure would like to steal. It's gonna say I, because it wants you to think it's your being thinking it.
Confirmation in the Brit Hadashah is that where it talks about all thoughts not being our thoughts.
Come on.
Some thoughts are not our thoughts. Some
That's
thoughts
right.
are implanted.
That's right. That's right. And you got to cast down those imaginations that exalt themselves against the knowledge of Yahweh, pulling down strongholds. See, that's why Shaul's talking like this. Shaul knew this stuff. Everybody hates Apostle Paul for some reason, but if they actually read and understood and studied like he studied, you would know why he say the things he says. He's trying to protect you with the Torah of Yahweh, the commandments of Yahuwah, to let you know that this is war. Ephesians 6 is about warfare.
There you go.
The warfare weapons of warfare are not carnal. So then he goes into this. Man, this is good stuff. He says, let me go. Here we go. 9. And he said, let the 10th part of them remain before him, and let 9 parts descend to the place of condemnation. And one of us he commanded that we should teach new all their medicines, for he knew that they would not walk up in uprightness nor strive in righteousness. Drug use. Drug use is another target. Crack cocaine, meth, methamphetamines, LSD, acid, ecstasy, Molly now. Those things are created by the fallen. Matter of fact, the man who made LSD, you can look this up yourself. I believe it was in 1952, I want to say. The man who made LSD said that a demon entered him after he took the drug. Those medicines that we see right here are good things, but then they have corrupted those medicines. They've used things. There's people who say they take crystal meth and they can actually urinate it back out and cook it back up and rock it up and smoke it again. That is not made for man. A man is not thinking on that level.
Right, that can't be right.
These influences, crack cocaine and things like that, are designed by the fallen to poison a people, a human. And this is why I know when Biggie said that he could sell crack to a pregnant woman, I knew he was influenced by a demon. It was easy. That's why he says he don't want to go to heaven with the goody goodies, and the rest is foul and filthy. There's nothing else to even be said about him. He was influenced by demons. So even drugs,
100%.
A drug is designed. It literally says something designed to alter the body. That's the thing of a drug. Okay, here we go. And I'm finna say this, and you can get mad and you can get all upset, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. When you look at cigarettes, it says smoking tobacco. It doesn't say tobacco. Listen to me. It doesn't. Listen to me. It says smoking tobacco increases the risk of mouth and throat cancer. Right. Smoking marijuana. It doesn't say marijuana. We can boil it. We can drink it as a tea. I take it as an oil. I call it blunt juice. I'm just being honest with you. I take cannabis oil at different levels. You can eat it. You can consume it. Yahuwah did make that plant. He made it for our benefit. It has multitudes, myriads of benefits. But smoking marijuana can lead to cancer, COPD, and things like that. I know people who have died from COPD and all they smoked was marijuana. Smoking tobacco, smoking marijuana. Why? Because you are putting a fire in your body that shouldn't belong there. It is the smoking of these things that were influenced by the fallen. Let me tell you why. Peyote. Native Americans. Anybody know Native Americans? They smoke peyote. Peyote is smoked in order for them to contact the spirits. Matter of fact, Aleister Crowley even taught, he said, in order to communicate with evil spirits or demons or the spirits, he said one must drink strong drink and take strange drugs. So it's not marijuana in the plant form or even hemp seeds to eat. It is the smoking of marijuana. I'm going to say that again. That changes the molecular structure of your cells and begins to hurt your body, begins to become malignant. I'm telling you this because that's why people say, man, I'm so high, I don't even know where I'm at. I was that person. I was that person who would get so high, I had to ask Yahuwah to bring my brain back. I had to ask him to actually restore my mind. People say, man, how you remember all this stuff now? That is not me. That is me asking a kind and loving Elohim who has become my father to bring back information that I had smoked away.
Man,
Sometimes I didn't even know where I was at, man. I drove all the way to Key West one time because I was so high I didn't know where I was at. I had to get led back. I don't even know how I made it back.
Hey, and I know that's confirmation. I know that's true.
Man, hallelujah, man. We're going to keep it 100 here.
I had a partner told me that I literally drive better when I'm high.
See?
I told him, I said, not with me in the car, you won't.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know how to.
You got all type of artists, man, that can't even do their craft
unless they high. That's right. And people would smoke blunts and weed to get high to do their craft. Matter of fact, Future just said, not marijuana, he said that he drinks syrup. And he would take that syrup, you know, and he needs that in order for that slur that he has in his voice. And he feel like fans won't even like him now that he off of it. Because it's killing him.
Now, can I share one thing real quick? This is from when I was a child. This is one of the few things I remember about my child.
Man.
I remember I was in school. I was in grade school. Don't remember how old I was. I think I may have been Poppy's age or younger. No, I think I was younger. The police came to our school. All right. At that time, you know, they were doing like, you know how firemen, police officers, hospital, different people that work different things come to the school and talk to the kids. All right. They were doing this drug week and whatever at the school. I remember this expressly. We're sitting in the auditorium in an assembly. Police come in and they're talking to the kids about drugs. I remember one of the officers got up and told us a story about a man that was on LSD that they had to put down. Said they shot him in the arm. He kept coming at him.
Wow.
Shot him in the other arm.
Wow.
Kept coming at him.
Wow.
Said they shot him in the legs. He kept coming at him. Said they shot him in the chest. He kept coming at him. Like nothing happened. He said the only thing that put him down was when they shot him in the head.
Wow. See,
LSD.
I
remember
it
that
allows demons to grab.
See, when I was in school, when I remember, I still remember that cop coming and telling us about that.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, because the people of that time, the Grateful Dead. Look at the name of the group. They had acid bears. Remember? I don't know if anybody. I know Goyim LeBron who may be watching. You know, shalom to y'all. You know who Grateful Dead is. They have acid bears. That's their logo. It's bears of acid. That's the bears they see from acid. Rock and roll has always promoted drug use as a form of contacting with spirits. Right. Snoop is marijuana. But smoking marijuana is not of Yahuwah. You cannot show me a script in here where they smoked it. Every herb was designed for akla. Akla means to eat or to consume it. Akla does not mean smoking.
Right.
It is akla. It means food. So you can't twist that like that. These people who talk about smoke all day, smoke all night, for one thing, he says anything in excess is against Yahuwah anyway. Right. And people who smoke weed, they cannot enjoy a trip without being high. They can't enjoy anything unless they high.
Something wrong with that.
I remember watching South Park. I grew up watching. I didn't grow up watching South Park. My mom had nothing to do with that. Mama, you had nothing to do with that. But I love South Park. And I remember Tally. He was a genetically modified towel that had to get high for superpowers.
Wow.
His name was Tally, and he couldn't do nothing. They need, hey Tally, we need your help. Wait, I need my weed. And he'll smoke it. They'll play the Popeye music. He's like, I feel so alive, and he'll save everybody. He was a genetically modified, scientifically made child that had to get high. But listen, if your eyes turn red, if your lips are turning black, that is a change in your molecular structure. Yahuwah didn't create you to look like that. And you can say Yahuwah has eyes of fire and all this. That's not what that means.
It don't mean that.
You know it don't mean that. Don't try to twist these scripts, because when you do that, you're wicked. And that's what we going, man. This right here may be a lonely road. We may be the only Akeem we have. But we gonna rightly divide these scripts and walk in the book. We got to. Because everybody who Rastafari and who getting high, that's their religion. That's why Snoop became Snoop Lion for a time. So that he can make, until his marijuana got legally. Right. Till he got it legally able to do it, I changed my religion. I'm Rastafari, I'm Snoop Lion now. So you can't do that, man. That stuff is designed to either boil and drink. It's a herb. However you prepare herbs, basil, anything else, that's how you prepare that herb. Eat that herb. That herb does bring benefits, but smoking kills all those benefits. When you light fire to anything, light fire to some milk. We talking crazy, right? Since you talking crazy, light fire to some milk and then try to drink it. What benefits are you gonna get from the milk?
Can we go ahead and
you can't light fire to something to bring out benefits.
Can I break this down?
Go ahead, Doc.
All right. It's amazing how the marijuana leaf is the only one they're trying to smoke.
Right.
That's one thing. Number two,
that's good.
Like you just said, man, you made a great point that I don't want people to look over. Light fire to some cabbage and still to see if it still has some health benefits.
There you go.
Light fire to some spinach and see and roll it up and smoke it and see if you're gonna get some health. No, you're burning it up.
Light fire to basil. It's not going. They'll even watch this. And let me give you some truth to this. They'll even tell you even cooking basil or anything is best to eat it raw or just sear it a little bit. You can't put too much heat. If you boil it to where it consumes by heat, you say you've lost all the nutrients in it. If you don't believe me, they'll tell you gotta lightly sear something if you want it hot enough to consume, but you're supposed to eat it as raw as possible. That's the benefits. So if you're smoking weed with a fire lit and you burning it and bringing it in, it ain't bringing no benefits to you. So don't let people tell you that. I know y'all favorite person was Sebi, but I don't know what he was sitting there smoking, but I ain't listen to a word he said.
I never heard of
him. Yeah, smoking.
I mean, I know he smoked.
Sebi, you would smoke. I don't know what the crap he was
smoking.
Yeah,
but
I couldn't listen to it. I don't know what
I ain't thinking of marijuana, though.
I don't know what Sebi was smoking, but I can't hear a man telling me how to be healthy and give me holistic teachings smoking marijuana. There's no way of smoking anything, because smoking anything is destroying your body. I don't care if he was rolling up red skunk cabbage for cataracts or whatever he was doing. It is not right to put fire to it, because the book even shows when you consume that, when that meat is consumed or that fire consumed that, it went into the Shemayim for a sweet savor unto Yahweh. That priest wasn't eating that stuff. It was consumed and burnt to a pole. They were not. They had already divided what they got out of it. You get what I'm saying? So putting fire to something does not, especially a human body, because we're talking about Yahuwah, he root. Right, so I can't even compare that. That may have been a bad example. Okay. But what I'm telling you is putting heat to anything kills off the benefits.
Fire, not really.
Yeah, fire. Fire, total. It kills off the benefits. Yeah. Putting fire to anything kills off the benefits. So this is why I say that evil rule know that if they promote that marijuana so much, that they can promote astral projection with it, all that, because it's mind altering. Anything that's mind altering allows those rules to have some kind of influence in your mind. Why? Because you're thinking on a little level. You ever seen somebody high? They the deepest people. They the best philosophers you can ever. Oh man, let me tell you about something right here, man. Let's break this down. I'm just telling you, it is not how Yahuwah has designed it, and it's not popular when you talk like that. But I know Yahuwah is leading us the right way. Coming from a person that used to smoke all the time. I smoked all the time. He is leading us the right way. There's no benefits to that. It's none. So, let's look at this right here. The medicines were given. Noah wrote down all the things in a book as we instructed concerning every kind of medicine. It's 10 and 13. Thus the evil spirits or ruhu were precluded from hurting the sons of Noah. But watch this. They didn't preclude from hurting the sons of men because of their own accord. It took a righteous man praying for them. He interceded for his sons. You get what I'm saying? Noah was righteous. He can go to Yahuwah. I thought the whole purpose of us waking up into this truth was to become righteous.
Right.
To become like our righteous
You would
ancestors.
think.
Not become like all our ancestors. But we were supposed to leave a lie and become the truth.
Right.
Right?
Right.
If
Right.
that's the case, then why are we leaving a lie and then adding lies onto the truth? That's deception.
You guys went in on weed. Can I go in just 1 minute on Africa?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Let me just go in. Since y'all went in on weed, can I just go in for a minute on Africa?
Go ahead.
So this is what you're talking about. See, because a lot of this stuff, sometimes we just have to sit down and we just have to be honest. And we just have to admit the simple truth that everyone that say they're awake, not awake to the rule of Yahuwah, coming to his covenant. They're awake to some type of cultural thing, like you guys mentioned earlier. We got all this back to Africa kind of stuff. We got. I heard one person. This was a while back. Me and that person aren't friends anymore. But one person, they were talking about some African culture and stuff like this. And all these folks on this person's page had Yah in their names.
Right.
One of them comes on and they were talking about voodoo, and they say, "I embrace all my African roots."
Oh, really?
Has Yah in their name. You hear what I'm saying? Right. A lot of these folks aren't woke up by the rule of Yahuwah.
Right.
A lot of these folks aren't in this true covenant. They are not true Yasharal. They are not our people.
Right.
They are full of mess and witchcraft and idolatry. That's what they're doing. Now look at this. We act like we came to America and just got polluted. We've been polluted. We're polluted long before
That's right.
long before the slave trade. And many of our people were already here also.
Yep.
But we were polluted long before that. Folk act like
they beat us into subjection in Islam, even over there in other cultures.
Exactly.
They whooped the truth out of us and made us conform to their beliefs even now.
Now think about it like this. Yasharal, we know, is in Africa.
Right.
We know that our nation, the continent, if you want to look
That's
at
a big continent. Yeah, it's like that's so crazy for somebody to say
that. There's all kind
that.
of foolishness in Africa.
Right.
Think about it like this.
Yeah.
When he called us and made us a nation, he made us in the midst of heathens.
That's right.
It was already there. So now we're talking about going back to Africa.
Right.
We're talking about embracing African culture. We're talking about African.
They were talking about going to the Côte d'Ivory. If you look where they were going to West Africa, that's where they sold us from. And all the fools are talking about going over to West Africa. That's where they sold us up. How you know this ain't a trick to get us back
That's what I
into it?
said. That's what I said.
That's the exact place.
I said
come back to the place where we sold you.
I was like, I don't know. I told
in the world.
I told my mom, I was like, I don't know about that one.
Because people are so deep on this black thing. I'm just going to say, I don't care who hates me,
black,
who hates us,
black, y'all.
Because they're so deep on this black foolishness.
Right.
That's what it is. Because Yahuwah don't care nothing about black. He cares about his nation.
That's right. And he cares about those who serve and keep his commandments. When you look at Cornelius, he said, I brought you to him because he honors my commandments and gives alms to the people.
Righteousness, baby.
He
all that matters.
Righteousness. He had no concern with his color.
So we're looking at all this Africa, and we're embracing all this Africa. So they're taking all these things that are coming up in African culture and trying to make it Yasharal. Let me tell you, that is foolishness and that is wickedness. That's right. Because that is not true. What the Torah says is true. So if something African is going against what the Torah says, then what are we going to believe and what are we going to walk in?
Come on.
All right, so I'm going to bring it to a close with this. We have to understand, we have people out here that act like we just got corrupted by white folks.
Come on.
White folks ain't what corrupted us.
Come on. Come on.
White folks are a result of Yahuwah allowing punishment on us.
Right.
But they did not corrupt us. We were corrupt long before we came in contact with Europeans.
That's right.
So we have to understand that we're not going back. We keep trying to go back to what our ancestors did. We need to be specifying righteous ancestors.
That's right, Asha.
Who kept the Torah. That's
right.
what we're supposed to be following.
That's
righteous ancestors.
Because see, even in
Not
the
just our
Torah,
ancestors.
the royal law says don't have any respect of person. That's what Yaakov spoke of.
Come on,
if you have a respect of a person, he said in costly apparel and in poor raiment. But if you have a respect of person based on race, that's respect the person.
Come on now.
It don't matter what you're talking about. You know, righteousness exceeds all colors. That's why he said, my house shall be a house of prayer for all nations. Amen. Right, you.
Have a great day.
Hallelujah. But yeah, righteousness, it said my house should be called a house of prayer for all nations.
There you go.
So if you're looking at a person because he's your skin color, you get what I'm saying? That's the reason why I had a problem, being honest with you, when Obama was president, because people were only voting because of his skin color. They weren't voting because of what he stood for, because he said his whole platform was homosexuality. He said that. That was his focus, was the LGBT community. So you're not even looking at his platform, you're looking at his color. So even in that, that's respect of persons. Right. So that's another root. Those roots are designed to bring divisions in him. Why? Because they know the Shemayim law. A kingdom divided cannot stand.
Wow.
So if humans are a kingdom, how do you divide them? With everything. I wrote a poem, man, when I was I had to be in the 8th grade, something, about what if men only had certain senses? They would hate people by other senses.
Wow.
I wrote an entire poem, man. And what's funny was the teacher's husband said he couldn't have wrote that. That's too intelligent.
No, dang.
But
Wow. That's a whole nother
but
video.
yeah, that's a whole other video.
Damn like that.
But I wrote a whole poem saying, what if you were blind? You would hate somebody by their smell. What if you couldn't hear? You get what I'm saying? And I went through all the senses talking about hatred is not something that just comes from the eyes. Hatred comes from a root.
Right.
It comes from within.
Right.
So no matter what you are, we see Cletus the blind Klansman that Dave Chappelle did. He was raised up blind, but he hated because hatred is taught not only by man, but hatred is taught by spirits. So when you talk about going back to Africa, for one thing, that's dumb because Africa is a whole continent. We were made a small nation. It says, I chose you as a small people.
I didn't choose you because you were the most of the people.
Right.
You were the least.
So if we
of the
dropped
people.
off there, where do we belong?
Right.
If we were so small, where is Yahshay? Because that's a whole continent.
Right.
So this is the flaw of people. Pan-Africanism taught by Umar Johnson, who I have no respect for. Pan-Africanism, Brother Polite with his foolishness. I don't know what he is. I don't even know what he is because he has no stance for anything.
Right.
But all those teachings allow spirits in. You get what I'm saying? It says in order to take the house, you must first bind the strong man. It reminds me of the story of those slave girl, who these two men had a slave girl in the book of Acts, or Ma'ashim, in the book of Acts. And as Paul and the rest of the apostles and people who were with him were around, she kept saying this: these men are servants of the Most High Yah. These men are servants of the Most High Yah. When I first read that as a Christian, and he cast this spirit out being annoyed, and he got rid of the spirit, and the men got mad at him because they lost their money, I was like, what did she do wrong? These men are servants. She was warning other spirits because spirits can't discern true spirits. You get what I'm saying? They know if they discern Yahweh, but they can't discern what you're really of. So what she was doing was warning people and their spirits. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
This is why I say that. Going out in front of the people. Now they coming in to pray for people and open the doors and heal and cast off spirits and cast out devils. She is a warning beacon for those spirits. You feel me? Because they seeking the wicked and they seeking, but they can't fight the righteous because they don't know who all righteous is coming. That's why he says go into all nations. So she's going, these men are servants of the Most High Yah. These men are servants. She's doing that in order to warn those who are around her. So Shaul, she said he did it for some days, and he got mad and he cast the spirit out of her. So that evil spirit, because she had a spirit of divination, that spirit could actually discern like powers through witchcraft. He cast out a spirit of divination that was confirming them being of Yahuwah.
Wow.
He could have said, yeah, you know what? I like the way she's saying that. And now call everybody out here so they can say, because we want to be confirmed that we really men of Yah. That's what a pastor would do.
Right. Spirit of pride.
But he knew that spirit was against the word because that spirit was warning people. So just because it's a spirit of flattery, it must be cast out too.
That's good stuff.
You get what I'm saying? So when people come up and, man, I know you woke like I am. You know Yah like I am. You still got to test that fruit.
Yeah.
Because that person's rule may be warning other people that you are of Yahuwah.
That's good.
Truly.
Hey, can I stop you guys for a
Go
minute?
ahead.
LJ had his hand up. I'm sorry, man.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. No, go ahead and say what you're going to say. I ain't know. I'm back
But
with
say
something.
it so the video so they can hear you.
Come on, man.
Oh,
He's out there for
I'm
real.
sorry, man. I saw your hand go up, but I didn't process it till later. And then somebody on the video reminded me.
Oh,
I
man,
wanted to make sure I
appreciate
got to you. If it comes back to you, let me know.
Ask you to bring it back.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, you know, you see demons say, Shaul I know, Yahusha I know, but who are you? You know, they know you, but it's some people who got demons in them that seem like they are awakened. They want you to think they're awakened so they can introduce the spirit of divination to you.
Right.
Just like this slave girl. You get what I'm saying? So we're not going to take too much longer than we're going to do a part 2. We got to do a part 2 because it's so much. But, you know, this is what I want to share. I want to share this real quick in Jubilees 12. And why I want to share in Jubilees 12, this is actually Abraham looking at the stars, moon, and sun to worship him. But look what he says. when he comes to Yahuwah, after he realized that the sun, moon, and stars are not Elohim, and that he alone is Elohim, look what he says. Deliver me from the hands, this is 12 and 20. Deliver me from the hands of evil spirits, or evil ruhu, who have dominion over the thoughts of men's hearts.
Who have dominion over the thoughts of men's hearts.
And let them not lead me astray from you, my Elohim.
So they can lead them astray.
Because, see, the whole time he was looking for stars and stuff to worship.
Mhm.
He was looking for this astrology and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, that's what this book is saying.
And that's something that the Watchers taught the children of men.
That's
one of
right.
the things that Yahweh was against. Go ahead.
And so he's saying, deliver me from those who have dominion over the thoughts of men's hearts. That's why the men's imaginations were fully evil in the book of Bereshit or Genesis 6.
Right.
So he says, and establish me and my seed forever, that we go not astray from henceforth and forevermore. That's Jubilees or Yubhalym 12 and 20. So
Oh,
Abraham,
that's good, huh?
the father,
Right, yo.
did not go to other people for deliverance of these spirits. He went directly to Yahuwah. He asked, and this is why I say that. We come out of Christianity, we hear, I rebuke you in the name of JC. I rebuke you in the name of JC, but you can't do that. What you have to do is say, Yahweh God or Yahuwah rebuke you. It's Yahuwah's job to rebuke and condemn evil spirits. Matter of fact, the book even tells us we don't even bring a railing accusation against them. We must say Yahuwah rebuke you, because his power is the only thing to save us. Now, I got to read this, man, because the root led me to do it and led me to look this up. I got to read. I'm going to read some of the curses that come from voodoo and stuff. To say you don't believe in voodoo so it can't hurt you, that's a lie.
Right.
To say,
It don't even make sense.
to say
It doesn't even. I don't know, how can you say you don't believe it? Just because you don't believe in something doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Con.
You know,
Con.
it's, you know, I say it all the time when it comes to people that say they don't believe in the Most High. Like, okay, you don't believe him, okay, you don't believe what I'm saying, okay, it don't mean it ain't true.
Con.
You know what I'm saying? It just means that you don't want to accept the fact that it exists. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't
So-
believe in this table.
Yeah, so say you don't believe
your
in it
books
has
on.
nothing.
But my
yeah,
books aren't though.
Yeah, to say you don't believe in it, that means nothing. That's nowhere in the scriptures.
It has no
nowhere.
weight. There's no
Because demons believe in you. They're assigned to
Come
you.
on now.
They
Come
believe
on
in
now.
you.
They believe
So,
All of
you know,
you.
as leadership of the root, I want to read out some signs of black magic and curses up on people. And I'm going to read this out. You get what I'm saying? And if you feel like these signs are up on you, I ask you to write us, and we'll pray with you. We'll fast with you. We'll ask Yahuwah to deliver you. We have no power in ourselves,
yeah.
but we believe in the higher power, and the greatest power of all, the great physician, the great healer, Yahuwah Rapha. So we're going to ask Yahuwah to heal you. But I'm reading this out by leadership of the root. When we was putting this together, he said, you need to read out them signs. And I'm doing what he told me. I've never done this before on any video, but I know he's telling me to do it now. So whoever watching, I already know you into it. I already know you fell victim to it. Yahuwah knows you fell victim to it. So I'm reading out these symptoms so that you can get free from it. Hallelujah, Yahuwah.
Hallelujah.
It says there are many ways that black magic spells are done, but the most common is making the victim eat or drink food or beverage that has been previously bound with black magic. Photographs of the victim can be used to invoke a black magic curse. Now here's where that becomes a problem. Everybody got photos on their Facebook page. We got to be more strategic. Photographs can be used to invoke a black magic curse. If a black magician obtains a photo of you or something you own or possess, it's called an object link. For instance, a piece of clothing or jewelry. These items can be used against you. Be careful with that. I remember my mom used to always tell us not to take her hair after she combed my hair and throw it outside. She said the birds would get it, but she wasn't being honest. Witches would get it.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And witches would do something with your hair.
Yeah.
And so it says some black magicians can even create a liquid spell that may be spilled over a piece of land or object to create a black magic curse. I remember a girl, and I'm being led by the root by this, and I'm gonna just share. I remember a woman who told me that her stepdad would beat her mom all the time, and she could not get her mom to leave this man. She has had times where her mama could have came and stayed with her. Her mom would not leave this man, and she said this is her problem. She went to a witch. She went to a sorcerer or a psychic and asked them what was going on with her mom, and that demon in that psychic told her, which is horribly wrong, the book of Habakkuk in the scriptures says, don't bring evil into evil to fight evil, or don't bring evil in your house to fight evil.
Right.
So she said that she went to the psychic. The psychic said that her stepdad had her mom's underwear buried in the yard, and that's the reason why she couldn't leave. And she said she dug and she found the underwear buried in the yard, and she burned them, and the next week her mom left that man.
Wow.
Crazy. And that's a true story. I mean, that's a true story.
I believe it.
And so that shows that hold from that possession is the reason why she couldn't leave.
Right.
People don't believe in this, but it's people who worship these demons.
Yeah.
They actually lay before these demons like we lay before Yahweh, and allow these demons to empower them. Look up Papa, who they call Papa Doc, one of the greatest so-called witches in Louisiana. Look up Madame Laveau. They still go to her gravesite and write X's and stuff to ask her to fulfill their wishes, even in the dead. They believe in this.
Can I say this?
Go ahead.
While you're doing that? Okay. Just to be clear. I know there are many Hebrews who know people that claim to be Hebrew that deal. Okay, let me start off like this.
Go ahead.
For those people that don't believe in what Ak is showing and presenting here, there are many of these things right here that are operating among people that claim to be in the covenant. All right. Now I know for a truth and a fact of people, and in particular, I'm just going to be for real. In particular, most of the time, when you're dealing with this stuff, you're dealing with women. That's what I'm finding most of the time. Not all the time. I believe there's men in the background.
That's right.
Usually, when it's out in the open, a lot of times this stuff is coming from women.
That's
All
right.
But I can tell you personally that I've had personal dealings with people who claim to be in the covenant, following Yahuwah, who are posting about love spells.
That's right.
Posting about these different candles and potions that you can do.
Come on.
All these enchantments, and I'm talking about outright. So anyone that thinks that this is not true and this is not happening, you're buried under a rock somewhere.
That's right.
Because this stuff is happening, and a lot of it is happening among people that claim to be in this covenant.
That's right.
And that's flat out wickedness. You can go all over, even social media. You can see people advertising their love spells.
That's right.
Even advertising it to the point saying, "Do you have someone that you want, but they don't want you?
Yep.
Let me help you."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They are doing this stuff.
That's right.
And I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah.
And we've had proof. We've exposed it. We've went there. But I'm reading to you the signs and the symptoms that you need to evaluate either in your life or a loved one's life, that you can pray for them and get deliverance through Yahuwah, because he's the only one going to do it. You can't reverse a spell with a spell. You get what I'm saying? That's why when it says armor's taught the solution of potions, you're not supposed to use a solution or an antidote from a falling. You're supposed to only trust in Yahweh. He's our deliverer and cast out demons. And that's the next teaching. Part of this teaching we're going to look at is what Yahusha did and how he dealt with evil spirits. It says changes in facial features, changes in skin, such as development of dry skin or excessive pimples, becoming angry or starting a fight for no reason, becoming very sensitive to smells, washing hands and body excessively. That's what that OCD craziness. Sometimes people say they're OCD.
Yeah.
I believe it's a rule behind that. You know, just being over compulsive.
Right.
Smelling his or her body parts all the time to be certain they are clean. Being dirty, and then a reverse of that spirit, being dirty or filthy, sometimes to the point of playing with his or her feces.
Wow.
Paranoia, like thinking someone is watching them or out to get them. Remember on My Mind's Playing Tricks on Me, Ghetto Boys.
Yep.
He said this year Halloween fell on or whatever. That's how he starts it off. And he's talking about the paranoia that he's dealing with, that whole song. And we talk about My Mind's Playing Tricks on Me. All them verses was about witchcraft. Man. And it says, encouraging people that it's okay to do bad things because Yah said it was okay. Wow. Man. Cutting or personally harming themselves but not remembering that they did this. Experiencing blackouts. Prophesying the future and being adamant that what they say is accurate. Man, we see that in the Christian church all the time. They say JC finna return on that.
88 Reasons Why He's Coming in 1988.
That's right. That's something. Hearing,
that thing?
That was every year for about a decade.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, right, right.
87 reasons why JC is coming back in 87. 88
Right.
reasons why he's coming back in 88.
Yeah.
89
Yeah.
reasons, and nobody called this man
being
a
a
false prophet yet.
clairvoyant, being a clairvoyant, like you can hear things saying that. You know, here's another one that I really caught hold of: hearing strange whispering voices, or someone calling your name.
Right.
You may have something on you, or somebody put a spell on you. Feeling someone next to them while they sleep. Man, hearing someone calling their name. I just said that. Experiencing paranormal activities. A lot of time when people say they've been abducted, it's something because they're dealing in the occult, or somebody around them is dealing in the occult. Look it up. Do the research. It's right there. Experience a feeling of being raped or sexually abused while dreaming or awake. Those are succubus and incubus. Succubus is the female part of that. The incubus is a male part of that. Those demons come in your sleep and try to sleep with you. It's so many artists and so many stars. Kesha is one of them. I think Katy Perry has mentioned it. Lady Gaga has mentioned it about sleeping with spirits. They got songs about it. Matter of fact, I know Kesha does on her album She Wolf a song about sleeping with the supernatural. This ain't no joke. And it says, seeing shadows around them. That's the key thing, because in the Abrit, the word is shadim. That's where we get the term shadows from. Demons come in sometimes in the form of shadow. That's why you see in the book of Yaakov, or the book of James, he says, the Father of lights, where there is no variation or shadows. Why did he say that? Because if you're searching for Yahuwah, he's full light.
Right.
He doesn't do variations of shadows. He either comes in darkness or he comes full light. There's no, a shadow means a light to darkness. It's like a sneaky type thing. Yahuwah don't operate like that.
Right, right.
So seeing shadows around them. Hearing knocking on the door when no one is actually there. Man, I seen a video of a black cat knocking on a door, peeking in the house. That cat was indwelled with a spirit. I know that for a fact because of the way he was doing it. I'll drop it in here or on the live.
Right.
You will see it. He was knocking and peeking in like a human, looking around. And when the person was coming to the door, he disappeared. Those things get in cats and things. That's why witches love cats. They are familiars. They use cats and things like that. Witches love cats and black cats and stuff. Not being superstitious.
No,
they literally
they-
love cats because that is actually one of the panther demons.
Oh.
When you talk about Black Panther,
Oh.
that's one of the panther demons of Egypt. The name is Bast. You can look it up, Bast or Bath. That panther demon actually indwells cats and stuff, and that's where Black Panther got his powers from on the thing. But nobody's had a problem with this movie
Right.
at all. No Hebrew. It's a red flag for me. But it says to give up everything he or she owns, such as a home or business, for no reason at all. You know, people that in prophecies do that. That ties in. They'll sell everything they have for that prophecy. Don't have nothing. That's witchcraft. To become a victim of frequent accidents. So you're having a lot of weird accidents happen to you. Paranoia, we talked about that. To destroy his or her or someone else's career. To leave the country for no reason. Boy. To control someone's mind for sex. To affect his or her health. To constantly be unjoyful or not joyful at all. To always be sad. To never succeed in anything. To go crazy or have psychological problems. One person just came to me now and said, hey, you know I'm bipolar. I'm like, man, you've been fine ever since I know you. Why did you just become bipolar out of the blue? I'm like, well, I think it's just stress or something maybe. No, demons make that stuff. It brings those things. I've been studying that schizophrenia actually is several demons attaching to different making different personalities in your root to make you think you have schizophrenia. You might be a little boy one day. Next day you're an old man. Next day you're a woman. Those are spirits attaching to your root in order to make you think you have schizophrenia. But what it is, it's another form of legion in your body. We got to pray against this stuff, and we're going to do it before we close this video out. It says to make people leave his or her life with no reason. To get in trouble or to stop where he and she is in life and never to move forward. Earthquake Kelly talked about the Nemo cycle. he used to be under Papa Doc, and he talks about how you may be in the same cycle over and over in your life. You're going through kind of like a generational curse, but what it is, that demon keeps you in this same cycle of your life. That stuff has to be broken by Yahweh. And we finna pray now, man, and I know this is for somebody. I know it is. It ain't no Christian, oh, it's somebody out here who may need a blessing. I'm telling you, Yahuwah gave that to me because I know you somebody who is watching this is needing this, and they need to be delivered. Baruch atah Hashem Yahweh Eloheinu Melech Halam Melech Alamin. Yahweh, I have done what you have required and asked of me to do, to expose the workings of black magic and witchcraft in people's lives, the signs and the symptoms of them. Yahweh, by obedience, we ask you from your Torah that you do not allow these witches to live based on your script. Dabarim 18:9 through 14, based on your Torah. But on the same token, we ask you to deliver through your power and through your blood that you shed, through your truth and through water immersion and through your moving of your all-powerful root, that people will begin to awaken to these curses that are on their lives, to the object links. Let them begin to find those things that they thought were lost, and let them begin to be retrieved, that no one's hiding or have in their possession. If the person has them in their possession, let them be lost in the hands of those witches. Let the evil and the curses that they're doing right now, Yahuwah, break off every power of stronghold that they have of them, the spirit, the true spirit of Isabel, of a false prophetess. We ask you to expose it, to break off the chains that are binding them right now, the witchcraft curse. Let them begin to cry out to you, for your name is the name that delivers. That's why we say Yahuwah Yahshay. Yah our creator is Yah our deliverer. Let them begin to call out to you to be freed from these hands of bondage right now. Torah Rabba Abba Yahuwah for allowing Aki Yaakov, Jimmy J, for being moved to bring this message forth. And Abba, this is just part 1. If you lead us to part 2, and Yahweh, please, right now, we come before you, beseeching you as sons of Abraham, sons of Yahshay, and sons of Yahshay, that you can hear our prayers because we keep your commandments and your Torah. We are interceding as Abnu did for his sons and his sons' sons. That you hear us and deliver these people, and let their testimonies be revealed, that they give you all the honor, all the esteem, and all the tahalim or the praises, Yahweh, because it's you that have done the work. In Yahuwah Yahushai's name we pray. Amen. Hallelujah. Yahuwah. Thank you all for watching, man, and be praying, and we going hard against the spirits of darkness, man. It's time for warfare. We're not just here just to lift up the name of Yahuwah. We must expose darkness. This is his commandment, that you go and teach all nations to obey his commandments, and his commandments, in those commandments, have exposing of darkness in them. That's what Deuteronomy 18 is. You may not want it, but it's in there. It's also in Leviticus, Yakra. It's all through that book about witchcraft.
And then it's backed up in the Brit Hadashah.
That's right.
Shaul repeats it. It says that have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness,
but rather expose. Hallelujah. And we gotta expose them. And so this is just part 1, and we're gonna be exposing, and we're gonna just keep doing the work, man. We gotta keep doing the work. You got something to say? Man,
be watchful. Be watchful. The whole point of this video, everything that's been said today, is to warn y'all to be watchful, to understand the spirits that we're dealing with, to understand that it is that serious, it is that deep. A lot of people may consider us to be extra, consider us to be, saying doing the most, but you gotta understand the enemy is not playing. He's not playing the games. He's doing the most to get you to go against what Yahuwah said.
Well, I want to be doing the most high's will.
There you go. There you go.
Tell me that one of y'all know where it is.
What's that?
It's that script that says that, as I'm paraphrasing, as hard as you went while you were doing wickedness, when you
10
turn
times
to
harder.
righteousness,
That's the book of Sirach.
Come on now.
That's the book of Sirach. It says seek him 10 times
It's a
harder.
must.
Yeah, that's the book of Sirach.
Hallelujah.
And we'll post that scripture on there. It says
man.
as hard as you did, you go 10 times harder. We'll post it on there.
Exactly. So that's the point. That's the goal. Yahuwah wants us to go just as hard as we did for the time. Hey, man, be watchful. Be watchful. That's all I gotta say.
We love you. Ahabu Shalom from Watchman and Yahuwah. Just keep keep being on point, man. Stay away from the wickedness. And in this season, they say get in the spirit. You know what it is. 'Tis the season, this Christmas season. You need to be in Palau for your family. And as they are feasting, you need to be fasting. You need to be seeking, because this is a time of child sacrifice. This is a high time too, because this is what Halloween begins. Halloween is the beginning of a continuance that goes all the way until the 6th of their first month. I'm going to say it like that, because that is the time of doorways and new beginnings. Matter of fact, that demon of the month of Jan you have is the two-faced demon. And he's the demon of new beginnings. So they're trying to start their new year in a dark, glooming way, so that that demon continue to reign. Pray for the children that's been missing. Pray for the children that's been kidnapped. Pray for the women that have been abducted. There's not just a sex trafficking. That's a major part of it. But they're using some of these bodies for sacrifices.
Right.
A lot of these bodies. They found a whole transfer truck with bodies piled in it of multiple races. So it's not just black people. It's not just white people. It's not just Mexicans. Hashatan is an equal opportunity destroyer, and we gotta be on guard.
He wants you. He wants you. He wants you because he wants what you have.
That's right.
And that's a possibility at seeing the kingdom.
And we must pray over our children. Pray over your house. Pray over your spouses. Pray over your brothers and sisters. Be praying. Be in prayer always. He says pray without ceasing. Not getting prayed up. Pray it up means you got a little limit to be filled up.
Right.
I actually got that from a pastor. I thought that was very good. He said he don't get prayed up. He said prayed up is a limit. He said that means you can fill it up and be done with it. He said you must pray without ceasing. And I told him, I said that is wisdom, elder. That is some wisdom right there.
Yeah.
Because you got to pray without ceasing. The book does not tell you to pray up. It tells you to pray without ceasing. So we need to continually pray and grow in this and walk in his truth. And it's people waking up, man. We need to be an example, because there's people who are coming out of Christianity. They're telling us on the page all the time they're leaving Christianity, and we need to show them the more excellent way. Not just the way, the more excellent way that Priscilla and Aquila taught people.
There you go.
Barak Yahuwah.
Right, Yahuwah.
Shalom to y'all.